there's a bombshell. Every day there's some crazy piece of news that makes you wonder what the United States of America looks like anymore. I told Seb Gorka today, who went to the Trump trial yesterday, I don't recognize the country anymore. I don't recognize America. So it was revealed that when the FBI raided Mar-a-Lago over the classified documents issue in August of 2022, in the order, in the search warrant, was an inclusion that they could use deadly force if needed. Deadly force. This is the 45th president of the United States, his home, where he is protected by United States Secret Service agents, and Merrick Garland sent FBI agents acting like stormtroopers, plainclothes, with the ability to use deadly force. Deadly force. Julie Kelly, who always does great work on this kind of stuff, she posted something on social media saying, I want answers to this for the former feds defending authorizations of use of deadly force. There's some like anonymous FBI guy who said, oh, well, it's a normal procedure. Normal? Julie Kelly asks, did the suspect cooperate with the government for more than a year, including turning over documents to a non-law enforcement agency? Did the suspect allow a top DOJ official and 3 FBI agents into his home voluntarily to search for incriminating evidence 2 months before the raid? Did the suspect comply with a subpoena to the best of his knowledge? Was nearly all of the investigation conducted outside the jurisdiction of the alleged crime, including grand jury proceedings? Was the suspect not accused of a violent crime? Was the suspect a former president? Was the suspect protected by federal officers sworn to protect the life and interests of a former president? And did the FBI consider how to perhaps handle dueling law enforcement agencies in this scenario? Is it normal for every individual participating in the raid to wear street clothes? Does a usual FBI raid involve a top DOJ official and an official from FBI headquarters? Julie says, looking forward to answers. We all should be seeking answers on this. I got into a big dust-up with my pal Mark Davis today because Mark said, well, look, there's an FBI guy who, an anonymous FBI agent who was quoted and said, it's normal. It's kind of a normal protocol. If there's a raid, there's nothing normal about this. It's a president of the United States. What did they want? Apparently, there was an inclusion of a paramedic and medics on the scene in the event of bloodshed, apparently. Bloodshed. And it strikes to the heart of what we all should pray over every single day, and that is his safety and his security. Because I don't know what they're capable of doing. Dan Bongino said, listen, this is a big story. Don't buy the bull otherwise. It was not a standard operation. The Mar-a-Lago raid was an unprecedented action with significant potential for confusion and blue-on-blue issues and conflict. Anyone telling you otherwise is either dumb or playing dumb. Only a dummy would pitch it's the standard paperwork line. Go serve a search warrant at the White House in the cocaine case while filling out your standard paperwork and see how that works out for you. Wake up. I agree with Dan. I totally agree with Dan. This is a shocking, stunning fact that we have to absorb, that the FBI was willing to use deadly force when they raided Mar-a-Lago, the president's home, in the classified documents thing. Now, here's what's so fascinating about the controversy. Joe Biden had classified documents too, remember? Remember the documents strewn all over the floor next to the Corvette in the garage? They didn't swoop in on Joe Biden's home. And yes, Trump was cooperating with them. So to pretend he wasn't is a lie. This is intended to humiliate, to embarrass, and to damage Donald Trump. They did the same thing to Roger Stone, one of his original confidants. Remember when they raided him? An elderly man with his elderly wife who's blind, and he's standing there in his underwear at 5 a.m, while these FBI agents with long guns, Roger Stone, they've done it to Peter Navarro. I mean, they want shock and awe. They want Trump harmed in the court of public opinion. And they thought that was a feather in their cap to have agents swooping in like he was Osama bin Laden at this luxurious property called Mar-a-Lago. It's sickening. Do you realize what could have happened if the Secret Service agents who are assigned to protect him and his family see men in golf shirts and polo shirts with long guns storming the place? Rifling through Melania's underwear drawer? Going through Barron's bedroom? No, be clear here. This is designed to send a message. That's all they're about. They want to send a message. They want to harm him. They want to impact the election. And they want to do anything they can to cause as much harm as possible. And every American ought to be sickened by this. Now, again, Mark and I disagreed on the formality of the use of deadly force. I'll share with you the little back and forth dispute that I think Mark's one of my dearest friends in the world. So, hey, sometimes friends disagree. And I strongly disagree with anybody who thinks this isn't a big deal. If you don't think it's a big deal, you let me know. Isn't Dan Bongino correct? Isn't Julie Kelly right? Trump was cooperating. There was no need to raid his home in August of 2022. And there certainly is no excuse for Merrick Garland and Biden's henchmen authorized to use deadly force against the President of the United States from 2016 to 2020 and his Secret Service contingency. I am fired up about this. And I would submit to you, if you're not, you're either not paying attention or you just don't want Trump to win. That's all that can be. That's the only conclusion I can reach.